Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another video where I look at all the new comic books coming out on either October 6th or 7th, 2020. And I asked myself, what one new comic book would I buy this week if I could buy just one book? Now, I want this video to be as informative as possible, so I'm going to take a few minutes to go over a handful of books that are on my radar that I think maybe you might want to have on your radar as well, either because they are noteworthy or because I just happen to be a fan of them. One that I happen to be a fan of first is Far Sector, and Far Sector number 8 is coming out. So few people care about this series, and it's really good. I think you can still buy issue number 1 for cover price or very near cover price, which is amazing to me because it's the first issue in a series that's really good, featuring the first appearance of a new Green Lantern who's pretty cool and has unique ring abilities. The art is amazing. The story is great. There's so many wonderful things about this series, and nobody seems to care, but I care, so I'm going to mention it. Another one that I like is Decorum, and Decorum number 5 is coming out this week. It is a very interesting world that is being created here, and I'm interested in the story. I've kind of been looking for it to pick up steam a little bit, and it still quite hasn't, but I'm hopeful that it might. Once again, this is just a book that I'm interested in that I just wanted to flag as coming out this week. Another book that I like a lot that comes out this week is Star Wars number 7. This Star Wars series has been really good and interesting to me. The story points that take place between The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi, that's always been an area of storytelling that I've been very interested in knowing what happened. Because a lot happens for Luke during that time period. We never really were told that story, and now we are getting that story. And so far, I like it a lot. It's being done very well, and it's very interesting to me. So if you're not checking out Star Wars and you're a Star Wars fan at all, I would recommend picking up this series. It comes out this week. Another thing to check out is a number 1 that's coming out, and that is Champions Outlawed. Now, frankly, I don't really care about that, but this is noteworthy because it is a new number 1, and it's got Miles Morales in it, and Miles Morales is a little bit hot right now, and so it might be something that you might want to check out. I just want to note that it is coming out this week. It's a number 1, it's something you might be interested in. Another one in that similar vein is The Walking Dead Deluxe. Now this I am more interested in. Most people were not on board The Walking Dead from issue number 1. It was something that people heard about later on and went back to kind of scramble to pick up this issue. For those that don't know, this deluxe is reprints of the entire series, but the interior pages are done in color. Originally they were just in black and white, now they're being done in color. I think that's great. As a Walking Dead fan, I've never read one of the comic books. I've watched every episode of the television show, but I never read any of the comic books. And I would love to do that. And I would totally start picking these up. But I am really resistant to pick up any new series that I can say no to. If I'm gonna say no, if I can't say no to it, I will say no to it, especially when I know that it's going to end up being something like 193 issues or whatever it ended up being when it's all said and done. I'm just not ready to make that kind of commitment. But for those of you that might be, I think this is a great opportunity to jump on board The Walking Dead and get it in a monthly fashion. Even though it's not for me, I wholeheartedly support it. Another book that's coming out this week that I'm interested in is Wolverine. I think it's number 5 or 6 up. I don't have the information. I'll put it like as a thing that will come in and say it's 5, Jeff, or 6. I like Wolverine a lot. And even though I'm kind of over vampires in general, I'm interested in the vampire storyline that's happening in Wolverine right now. And I'm most interested in seeing more Omega Red stuff. They've been dropping Omega Red into the Wolverine story, and for some reason, I'm really interested in getting Omega Red stories right now. So I'm hoping that there's more of that. But ultimately, if you just need one excuse to buy this comic book, it's this Alex Ross cover, man. That is awesome. It's really good. A lot of these Alex Rosses, if not all of these Alex Ross covers, have been amazing. But this one, I really like. I'm definitely going to pick this up. Another book that is on my radar that I think is worth checking out is We Only Find Them When They're Dead, #2. I really liked the first one, man. It was the world that they built just in one issue and was really interesting to me. And they took something like the politics of claiming different body parts of a floating dead god and made it really interesting and exciting to me. I don't know how Al Ewing did it, but it was really good and really interesting to me, and I really want to know more about this world. So if you're not on board with this, it's not too late. Go find issue #1 of We Only Find Them When They're Dead and pick up issue #2 this week. I think it's really cool, and I can't wait to read more of this. Another book that comes out this week is Venom 27 third print. Now, if you watched my very first one of these videos, you know that this is a combination that I am particularly interested in. It's similar to Venom 3 third print, where you have the guts of the first appearance of a character with a cover appearance from them. Similar to Venom 3 third print, similar to Thor 5 third print, and now Venom 27 third print. And some of you might be saying, well, Jeff, why would you be speccing on Codex? We know who Codex really is, and I don't want to spoil anything in these videos at all if I can help it. What I'd say to that is who Codex really is. Codex is an alternate reality version of that character, so I'm not so interested in speccing on that original character for a Codex spec. I'm going to treat Codex like his own character because to me, he's an alternate reality version of this character, so he's his own guy. So since I'm into Venom 3 third print and since I'm into Thor 5 third print, I feel like I should pick up Venom 27 third print as well, but maybe just Marvel knows that and they're kind of making me want something that maybe I don't necessarily need. At first I wasn't interested in this book, but the more I think about it, the more I think I should pick it up. So I'll probably end up picking this one up as well. I wanted it to be on your radar so that you know it's out there as well if you're interested in it. In the same Donny Cates vein, we have Thor #8 coming out this week. Yes, Thor #8. Now, it was originally my thought that the second story arc of Thor was going to, it did. It did start with issue #7, but I thought it was going to be a continuation of his story arc. Donny Cates, several months ago, I heard him say, hey man, get ready for Thor #9. And I was like, ooh, that's going to be exciting. That'll be the third issue in the second story arc. Well, as it turns out, that's going to be the first issue in the third story arc. And in between the first and third story arc, you have this short 2-story arc, which has been kind of fun. It's kind of a fun little story that they're telling. It was kind of really fun that they put Tony Stark's phone number in issue #7. If you didn't check that out, I highly recommend checking that out. Kudos to Marvel for doing that. I mean, they had to pay extra money. They had to buy the phone number. They had to record the thing. It's a little kind of gift to the fans that they did that, and it's a fun little thing. If you haven't done that, I recommend looking up that panel from Thor #7. Just dialing the phone number, it takes 30 seconds and it's fun, but I appreciate the fact that Marvel did that. But this little story arc here, it's not substantial to me, and it seems to be almost like a filler or a bridge story arc between the first one and the third one. It's the third one that I'm really interested in. Apparently it's going to be taking more of a horror bent, got a horror vibe to it. So I'm interested in that one, but Thor 8 is not my pick because, like I said, I feel it's more of a bridge, more of a filler between the first and the third arc. So my pick this week is an anniversary issue. No, it's not Amazing Spider-Man #49 or Legacy 850. I'm going to throw up a bunch of these covers that are coming out for this while I talk about this. To me, maybe you have an anniversary for issue #25. You definitely have one for issue #50. You definitely have one for issue #100. And you definitely have one for every 100 issues after that, 200, 300, 400, etc. But these kind of like 850 Legacy or 150 or 250, to me, it seems like an excuse to put out an oversized issue, charge people more money, and make more money for the publishers. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a fantastic character, but I've just had no reason to want to read Spider-Man these days. And if you love Spider-Man and you think I should be reading Spider-Man, tell me in the comments why I should be reading Spider-Man, because I want an excuse to read Spider-Man. I just don't have it. And this issue 49/Legacy 850 is not the one that's going to be drawing me in. It's also not going to be the anniversary issue that I'm sure they're going to have next month for issue number 50. But it's out there. It's got some cool covers. I wanted it to be on your radar. I wanted you to know about it. But no, my pick for this week, if I could buy just one book, is Batman 100. Yes, James Tynion IV, 2 weeks in a row. I told you you're going to hear his name a lot from me, and it's very true. And I'm not just picking it because of James Tynion IV, although he is reason enough, in my opinion, just to pick up this book. There are a few books out there right now, in my opinion, that are kind of no-brainer books. Thor, to me, is a no-brainer book. Something is Killing the Children is a no-brainer book to me. You could even argue that Venom is a no-brainer book, and another no-brainer book is Batman. So yes, James Tynion IV is a excellent reason to pick up this book in and of itself. And one thing I want to acknowledge is that I have been a little bit lacking in recognizing the art in some of these books that I pick. Yes, I am very writer and story focused. I will 100% admit that. But I gotta tell you, Jorge Jimenez's art in this Batman title has been really good. I've really been taking it for granted. He creates a mood in these books and some panels that are so dynamic and so cool that I have to give him a ton of credit. It's really good. When you compare the stuff that he's doing up against some of the work from other books, it's like some of it seems really pedestrian compared to what he's doing. And when I talk about some of the mood in the art and the stuff that he's doing, also the storytelling of James Tynion IV, if you're reading this, think to the last few panels of issue number 99. The Joker War storyline has been really, really great. Basically, if you're not reading it, without spoiling too much, the Joker has stolen Batman's superpower, which we all know is Bruce Wayne's bank account, and he's using it against him. And the Joker is really going after Batman and really hitting him when he hurts. The Joker knows a lot about Batman and Bruce Wayne and is using it to his advantage. And so I'm really interested in the showdown that's going to be happening between the Joker and Batman in issue 100. It's really pretty cool. So not only is it the conclusion of the Joker War storyline, this originally was supposed to be the final issue of Batman. They were going to start over and renumber from an issue number 1. I think maybe even they were going to, that James Tynion IV's writing duties were going to take him up to 100, and then he was going to be done and they were going to start over with somebody else. Let me know if you know something about that I don't know in the comments. But because this series has been doing so well and because James Tynion IV has been killing it, they're going to keep going, because if it ain't broke, don't mess with it. So we're going to keep moving forward with an issue 101, 102, and so on and so forth. So once again, this will end the Joker War storyline, but I want to read the solicitation for this book to kind of talk about some other things in this book. The solicitation says, the Joker War comes to a city-shattering conclusion as Batman battles the Joker in a brutal, no-holds-barred duel. This is a fight 80 years in the making, and its outcome won't just change Batman's life, it'll change Gotham City for years to come. Now, I hope this is true. I hope this isn't hyperbole and they're like, oh, everything's going to be different from now on. I hope they really mean it. I hope that the reverberations, the repercussions of the Joker War really do affect Batman and Batman's world for years to come. I hope that's not hyperbole. I hope that it's actually true. Continuing, plus, catch the first glimpse of the new villain known as Ghostmaker. Now, this is interesting to me. I'm going to throw up some images of Ghostmaker. This is going to be a new character. They do say glimpse. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a cameo appearance, but a first appearance nonetheless. I want to read to you some things from an article where people talked to James Tynion IV about this character, because it's kind of interesting. He described him as a character who we'll see a little bit of right at the end of Batman 100, but will come in a big way in November and beyond. This is a character who I've been excited about for a really long time, he continued. He's definitely going to show up as an adversary to Bruce, but he is not necessarily a villain per se. He is someone that Batman has known since he was a young man traveling around the world to become Batman. And now, basically, Bruce's rival from when he was 15 years old has come back to Gotham City because he doesn't think Bruce is doing a very good job. That's a sort of core conceit, is creating this rival from youth that we're going to see come in a big way in the present. So, once again, at the end of the Joker War storyline wasn't enough for you, we're going to get a glimpse at the first appearance of a new character that we're going to be seeing more of in this Batman storyline. So, something to speculate on there as well. And he's pretty cool looking too. So I'm interested, and the story idea is cool as well, to take somebody who is new to us but not new to Bruce Wayne, Batman, and to kind of, it'll be interesting to see what kind of parallels they draw and what kind of story they're going to be telling there. Finally, going back to the solicitation, I'll finish that by saying, and after the senses-shattering conclusion of the Joker War, come a pair of short stories that will chart what's to come in Gotham City and Batman. Don't miss the first showdown between Batman and Clown Hunter. Now, these are probably filler stories to build out this issue, to make it longer, to make it more of a 100-issue anniversary so they can charge you more money. But I have to say I am interested in what they talked about here with the first showdown between the Batman and the Clown Hunter. The Clown Hunter's doing good work, but not following the Batman code of not killing anybody. So it'll be interesting to see how Batman deals with him, because he kind of like turns a blind eye to Red Hood a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see if he wants to try to bring Clown Hunter into the fold, and Clown Hunter's like, screw you. I'm interested in seeing more of this. Finally, just to take a quick look at the covers of this book, there's the A cover. There's the B cover. There is the 1 in 25 cover. But I want to go back to this A cover, because this A cover looks amazing. It's a wraparound cover. So check this out. This is awesome. This looks so cool. I saw just the front of it, and then I saw that it was wraparound. I was like, let me research what the wraparound is going to look like. And then I saw this. Holy moly, this is awesome. I want to get this graded and slabbed just so that I can have it in like a two-sided kind of thing, and I can flip it over and look at the art. I would almost even like to like buy a copy just to rip the cover off and flatten it out and put it out, because I think this is great looking. I think this is so cool. I even think I saw listings where you could buy CGC 9.8 guaranteed copies of this book for like $50. I'm still seriously considering it, because I think that this is really, really cool. And I like it a lot. So this is, once again, another reason in and of itself why you might want to consider this book. But yes, for all of those reasons, I have decided that if I could buy just one new comic book this week, I would buy Batman number 100. So maybe you like my choice and you're like, of course, it's Batman 100. Let me know. Say, yes, I'm so excited about Batman 100. That is absolutely the pick I would choose if I could buy just one book as well, Jeff. Good on you. Or you're like, Jeff, once again, you're crazy. Tell me in the comments. People aren't really engaging and telling me what their picks might be in the comments. I'd really be interested in hearing what you guys have to say. If you like my pick, if you don't like my pick, and if you don't like my pick, what your pick would be, please. If you like this video and like the content, the like is always appreciated. I gotta tell you, I've seen a big pop in my subscriptions and views in the past week. Thank you to all of you who may be finding my channel and watching these videos for the first time. I really hope you enjoy them. Please give me any feedback that you have. Let me know what you like and what you dislike. I'm more than open to it. And if for some reason you're finding this video for the first time and you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I do these as well as some CGC Test Your Comic Book Grading Skills videos. I think that there's some stuff worth checking out. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it. and I will see you in the next video.